We are ready. Okay, good morning. It's 9 o'clock. We have a quorum. We'll call the Bylaw Committee to order. And first up, is any minutes that we have to approve?
I don't have any yet.
I
will send them out before a meeting.
That's fine.
Yeah.
I'm trying to figure this out. I've lost track. What minutes are we missing?
I have the December and January minutes that I'm working on.
December, January.
All the other ones
are caught up to date.
Yep.
That's good. Because I was writing them down and thinking to myself, I'm so confused. I don't know what minutes we have, which ones. Okay, good. Anyways, review some of the draft bylaws. I know venue we're still working on with Tom. He's not here. I put out a rough draft of the town common. Anybody have a chance to look over that and have any comments on it? I tried to get different stuff in there that's really not, because the select board has a guidelines, I think I put out once before, and I put things in there, in here, kind of hitting what I thought we talked about at the last meeting, what we wanted to see, but I don't know if it's ready to go yet.
I skimmed it, it looked okay. I think it needs to critique it a little bit, but it's pretty much good.
Yeah, 'cause I was hoping Mitch would be here
Yeah.
to have his the police department input on it, and so we'll have to hold off on that one.
I reviewed it too. I had a few like small changes which
Okay.
I could just send. I can just respond and like put in track changes.
Okay, yeah, well, just email me whatever you thought should be corrected.
Yeah.
Well, that'd be great. Okay. On the placard for the fire department,
For solar, yeah.
I don't know how to word the bylaw. One of the questions I have is, what you're asking for here, is that in any of the NFPA stuff?
Yeah, it's just on a different placard. So we're trying to not have 4,000 placards placed all over the place. So we incorporated the emergency contact information on that one because that's immediately adjacent to the shutoff.
Okay.
So it makes sense for it to be there.
Okay.
So that's why it's so frustrating, because we're literally just asking them to put their name and phone number, emergency contact number.
Okay.
And everybody's doing it except for one company.
Right.
So
Now, I'm trying to figure out how to word this in a bylaw. That's where I'm puzzled, like,
I'll take a stab at it for you.
can you take a stab at it? Just
Yes.
send me, even just a wild guess of at least where I can have a starting point to proceed, because I'm trying to figure out how do I put this, I mean, how do I reference the correct placard, for one thing?
Why don't you
And
just
then-
say, per the request of, the request of the public safety, Hadley Public Safety.
I think we can reference the actual code for the placard itself, and then just with the addition of town required emergency contact.
And if it was a zone bylaw, you could do that. But general bylaws
it's
gotta
gotta
be
be
very
so
specific, because they rip them up. Enough said.
Well, try it the
You
way
know.
Mike is saying and see what happens.
So
It is
that's
referenced.
why, I mean, yeah, I can, a general, like a zone bylaw goes by intent.
Sure.
And it held up in court time and time again. You go to a general bylaw for whatever reason, that doesn't work. And it's gotta be, that's why a general bylaw can be this long and a zone can be this big for similar things. I don't get it, but that's our good old mass laws.
There's gonna be a couple other things under that one that just have come up as a result of all this too, so I'll try and make it one complete
Okay,
under that section.
That's fine, all right.
So. And then we were talking about a fire department section of the bylaw, because we don't have one right now.
Correct.
So chapter 216, I think had come up, is that, or article 216 or something, I think we had said.
Okay,
Because Jess and I are working on updating the fees for the certificates of registration for fuel storage.
okay.
because that law has changed for quantities. So back in the, I don't know if the bylaw was set up specifically, but the thresholds for requiring a land license,
Okay,
I mean, it's substantial. So for example, diesel fuel, you need 10,000 gallons to require a land license.
okay,
So that land license that goes through the select board gets approved, you have to notify abutters and everything. If it's approved, it is in perpetuity with the land. And every year, the town clerk does her certificate of registration on who's exercising the land license.
okay,
So for example, Cumberland Farms, they have a land license, but let's say somebody else owns the property. So the property owner has the land license, the certificate of registration shows that Cumberland Farms is exercising that land license.
okay,
So if, for example, Cumberland Farms sells, that then gets transferred to the next property owner.
Okay.
And then there would be an amendment. So we're trying to clean up those quantities.
oh,
to make
okay,
sure.
okay.
We just wanted to make sure that we weren't, like, if there was a reason in the past for, like, we have there's a lot where, you know, they might have 1,000 gallons of oil and they have a land license for it. So we're just trying to figure out if there was something in the past that we don't want to change, so.
Okay, all right.
Too many permits and inspections.
Let's see, Riverfront, working on that. Anything on farm animals? I don't think anybody's here on that one, right? No.
No, that was Randy.
Any other updates on other things people have been working on? I know you had a couple of things.
Yeah, well, I just sent my draft of the sidewalk bylaw revision to Jessica. There's the penalties, though, that are going to be chapter 219 that somebody else drafted,
Okay,
which need to get added in. So I think Jessica knows
Right.
that. So that's basically the update on mine. And actually, maybe I should connect with Randy because I wanted to have drafted like a definition of livestock or farm animals, because we reference it multiple times, and every time they're mentioned, we list out like goats, cows, pigs. Like, I think we could just have a definition. So,
I believe, take a look at this one, under Massachusetts, I forgot if it's Mass General Laws or somebody defines livestock.
okay.
So as opposed to trying to reinvent the wheel, it might be easier to
Mass.
find out, because it's
Okay.
gonna be listed under the right to farm bylaw. There is very likely a definition of farm animals.
Okay. Yeah, I was looking for that too, because the other thing that we had mentioned last time, I don't remember who mentioned it, but that we should have like a carve out for like supportive animals, which would be service animals, I guess social support animals, and that definition is fairly broad. So I was trying to make sure we like accounted for that. So I'll take a look at the Mass General Law. I was already sort of looking at that, but I'm just trying to make sure that we have a clear definition and it's clear what it exempts to.
Okay,
So,
that's fine.
but yeah, that was my only assignment I had. So I'm happy to take on a new one. I guess the thing I don't know is which bylaws have already been updated or handled and which haven't. So
Jess is, she's going through the book I put together.
Okay.
And she's gonna do an update on all the minutes and everything
Right,
and
yeah.
put together, so she's
Awesome.
going through that
Okay.
book. And you have a thumb drive of all of them
Yeah, I
as
have
well?
a flash drive.
Do you have an extra thumb drive, or I can get you one?
I might have an extra one.
Could you make a copy and just let Jess, she wants
yeah,
to download
sure.
that? Actually, never mind, I think
Should I just bring it to her office and she could download
Yeah,
it?
yeah,
on the
yeah, if you
computer?
could, because the way I did the book is I did it from oldest to newest. And that's, I guess it's a little bit more difficult for her. She wanted it in chronological order, it's just backwards. So she's revamping it. So.
Okay. Yeah. I was like looking at the bylaws yesterday and I was like, what's a new one I could take on? And I realized I was like, maybe somebody already handled some of these. So.
Right.
I still have to catch up with you on that car. thing, too.
Yeah. I sent you an email like last month and then
Yeah.
I didn't show up because I was sick. So
No, that's fine.
we'll
It's
make
me
it
too.
happen.
So.
Yeah.
Okay,
And the two tasks I had was the signs.
yes.
So I did go to the CPA. Gary Berg and I were working on those together. He is the one that filed the CPA applications. So the one for the signs on the West Street Commons, it turns out that the Historical Commission has already put out a sign, and, you know, they're more than happy to update that sign to include what we're asking. So they're going to be tasked with that, I guess, now.
Okay.
And the other one was the bell for out here, the memorial.
The one that came out of North Station.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, so the smaller of the bells. So I did make a design for it, and it's something that we have to go through all the different committees and the select board and everything else. It's essentially 5 by 5, but it'll protect the bell. It will have tempered glass around it, and it's just a cross section of how it would be constructed.
Is the bell steel or copper, bronze?
It's bronze.
Bronze.
And it's been,
It's behind the station.
Yeah.
Yeah.
it's been
Nice and late.
restored. We restored it when we did the other bell at the same time.
Okay.
Behind the station?
No, behind Center Station.
Yeah. So, certainly the CBA wanted to have we just came up with an estimate on it at $4,000. Gary came up with that. And the guy's right on. I mean, it came out to $4,061. So I did go to Lowe's to talk to them because they helped us with the other memorial quite a bit. And they said it was a little too soon to sit down with them because, you know, we're not going to have the money until summer. And I just said, just want to have an idea that you could help us, and they certainly will.
Okay.
So generally, I can easily get to 5%. I got like between 10 and 25% off cost on stuff for the other memorial. So they said, we'll see what we can do. So the 4,000 certainly should be in line with what we're going to spend. We want to put tempered glass around it, and has gone sky high. I mean, each panel is $600 now. It's insane for a 2x3 piece of glass.
Wow.
But we need to do it and protect anybody that's up near it. But we'll do that, and we're thinking of putting a copper roof on it possibly. So I've talked to US Metal Roofing, and they'd be more than happy to help us with it too. So there's enough volunteers out there, and we'll be asking these buddies too to help us.
I think the association was anticipating helping too.
So I think it'll certainly go forward.
Okay.
And on the topic of CPA, so the CPA is going to be reviewing edits to the CPA bylaw. So is that something that we can add to the spring town meeting?
The what kind of bylaw?
The Community Preservation Act bylaw?
Okay, go on.
So they're going to review a revised version of it.
Oh, okay, all right, because we
On
already
March
have a
3rd.
CPA bylaw,
Yeah.
okay. Okay,
So is that something that we could add to the spring town meeting list of
okay.
things to?
You'll lunch-
It'll be pretty small revisions.
Let me just get the wording to the
Okay.
to the town. I don't know that it has to go through. Well, it doesn't really have to go through us, but if they want, it could, because they could do that by themselves too. But we're more happy to put it on if they want. Just have to, they'll have to speak with more than anybody, you know.
Yeah. Okay.
Be nice to have it all together.
Yeah. So the you're on the bill. I mean, it's not on an agenda, but the anything ever happened to the Russell School bell?
That's one of those two, I believe.
Do we have? Do we know where it is? Do we still have it in the town?
The Russell School bell is the one in front of Hopkins.
It is?
Yes.
You sure about that? I thought that came out of the old Hopkins.
It was moved to the old fire station, I thought, wasn't it? There was two bells,
Yeah, there was two bells.
and one was moved to the old West Street station for a while. And then when that got sold, it was taken out
This,
again.
this is a smaller bell.
Right, that one came out of the old fire station back of, what you call it,
Yeah.
Kolaski's, John Kolaski, or Mike, yeah. The Russell School bell was in Russell School. And
I don't know. Gary Berg's the one we need to ask.
it was removed by Harold's back in I want to say 93, 94. It went to Johnny Mitch, had it stored at his place.
That's one of those two.
I have the wheel that drives the bell in my garage. There was a big wooden wheel that with the rope went onto it. I have that wheel in my garage.
I'm pretty sure the bell that's in front of Hopkins is that bell.
Or the one behind the station, it's one of those two, because those are the two that were stored.
This was a cast iron bell.
And the reason I believe the bell that's at Hopkins is that bell, there's a lot of discussion on which bell goes to what, okay? So we call the big bell and the small bell. And the small bell was with the fire department when we got it. So we called that the fire bell, the small one, which is going to go out here. But apparently that is not the case.
The one that was in Russell School was a cast iron bell, and it weighed like somewhere around 700 or 800 pounds. It was a big bell.
I believe that's the bell in front of Hopkins.
Really?
Yeah.
You can come take a look, drive around the back of the station. If you want.
I don't remember the insignia on the Russell School bell, but I'm pretty sure it said Russell School on it.
There's
One of our past chiefs did a little review on it too, so he wrote something up, so
Okay.
I can try and find that.
I don't think there's a third bell.
Not that I'm aware of.
Not-
The only other bell I know of is in the...
Yeah.
Okay, because like I said, I've got the wheel, on the end of the bell, it had like a,
Yes.
almost like, looks like an oxen thing for where the oxen go on.
Yep.
And on the end of it was the wheel's gonna be, I think it's gonna be 3 foot diameter, more than that. And that was the one where the rope would go on. And that's in my garage. When you hit the bell out, for whatever reason, I got that and John took the bell. So,
And we went down and got the bell.
Yeah, that was fun.
Yeah.
They're-
So
they're
if
not
that
like-
goes with that bell, and that's something we'd have room that we could actually install.
if the yoke is still on it.
The yoke's there.
There should be a place to mount so it's wooden, and it should be a wooden spindle on the end. This fits on the end of it. I mean, it's sitting in my garage, but I mean, it's obviously weather worn from being upstairs. But when it's been in my garage, it has been nothing but protected.
Yeah. Well, it's something that we can start looking at, and even if we can't mount it on the yoke, we could probably mount it on the back wall.
Yeah.
And put a placard on it.
Yeah, well, that'd be great because I don't want it. It's not where it should be.
Everybody
Well,
volunteering to
I can
store
bring it up
stuff.
to Gary Berg. Gary can go pick it up, and then we can start looking at if we should do anything with
Yeah.
it.
Okay. Yeah. Right. Okay. Anyways,
I'm glad you brought that up.
yeah, I'd like to get rid of it.
Well, there's a number of things around town that people volunteer to store, and we need to actually
But
go through.
the problem is finding out who has it.
Yeah.
Somebody got to speak up, and then they got to see it that we're looking for it.
Yeah.
You know. Anyways, okay, that's
Bring
good.
that up at town meeting.
That's why we have the old hose wagon in the bay now. We actually purposely built a place to store it because the West family was kind enough to keep it for us because we just had no room for it.
Okay.
So
Good. All right. Anyway, that was off topic, but still,
that's good to
good to
bring
get
up.
taken care of. So we're still going to try to shoot for a couple of these items on Springtown meeting. We haven't enough time yet, and we can probably talk about our next meeting. We get more of the quorum of people here and people that are going to be involved in it. I really have nothing else for this meeting. We kind of short-staffed it, if you would. But okay. So get me just a ballpark wording on the placard.
Yeah.
So it's a place where I can start.
Or I can try, I'll take a stab at right now.
Okay. And,
Because there's actually a second placard that Tim and I actually started it probably 15 years ago for the truss construction, and it would be in the same location. So maybe we can get
Yeah.
both the placards done, and then we had talked about the street numbering,
yeah.
which is required by Mass General Law, but there's some houses that are so far off the street you can't see it, so adding into that bylaw, the donation to the Council on Aging for a street sign out front.
No,
So
the
that kind of
bylaw
stuff.
says that the street, the number must be able to be seen from the street.
That's actually in the MGL. So,
And it's also in ours.
is it in the bylaw? So we'll fix, maybe we can do it all under that labeling.
Okay. Yeah, maybe somehow within the same, that's fine, good idea. Okay. Anybody have anything else? Short meeting.
I don't think so.
Okay.
Thank you.
When's the next meeting?
Motion to adjourn?
The 18th of March?
Correct. Yeah.
And so once you share that thumb drive with Jessica will be able to tell me like which bylaws we've already updated.
She should be, yeah.
She
Well,
has
I mean,
passed this.
what everybody had been working on.
Yeah, perfect.
So, yeah, I tried to write out what we voted on or submitted to as a
Yeah.
recommendation of the select board.
Perfect. Cool.
Okay.
So that's after some time.
Motion to adjourn?
So moved.
Do we have a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion passes. Meeting is history. Thank you, everyone.